Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the ordinary meeting of Raupo Drainage Committee, Wednesday, 26th of June. Thank you all for your attendance. Please ask Alana, could you open us with a karakia, please?
Certainly. Kia hora te mereno, kia whakapapa punamu te moana, kia hura ahi mai tātou e tā, e te rangi nei, aroha atu, aroha mai, tātou e tātou katoa.
Kia ora, thank you. For apologies, I have had one apology received from Brian Madsen. Are there any further apologies? You can grace you.
Sorry, just one moment through the chair. I'm just going to check my email. Oh, sorry. She has she is attending an important iwi hui, and she said she'd attend via meeting link, but I don't know if maybe she's been stuck in that meeting. I don't know if you want to.
I'll forward an apology on Grace's behalf. I move that we accept those apologies. Seconder, Ross McKinley. All those in favour? Aye. Carried. I'd also move to confirm this morning's agenda. Could I have a seconder on that, please? David Hart. Favour? Aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Also like to remind members to declare any conflicts they may have with items on today's agenda. I will declare my conflict. I am currently employed by Kaipara District Council in a permanent role. Any views expressed by me during this meeting are my personal views only and are expressed in my capacity as Chair of the Raupo Drainage Committee and as a representative of the Raupo Drainage District Ratepayer Targeted Ratepayer Group. The opinions and views expressed are not in my capacity as an employee of Kaipara District Council and are not necessarily the opinions of my employer or the elected members of Council. This conflict has also been declared with KDC. Are there any other conflicts? No. Item 2, no public presentation. Move to item 3. Confirm the meeting minutes of the 20th of March 2025. We'll take them as read. I will move that we confirm those minutes. Can someone that was present at that meeting second, please? David Hart. All those in favour? Aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Move to item 4, the drainage operations report, and I'll ask Wayne to come forward and present that, please.
Activities for the last quarter, March to June 2025. Floodgates, floodgate 104A, we checked for water intrusion with no fault found. Floodgate 53 has had the sluice gate chains replaced. Debris has been removed from floodgate 38, the Raupo Boat Marina. Sluicing at floodgate 24 Gallon Road resulted in damage to the floodgate door. The door has since been replaced by the contractor at their own cost. Further sluicing has been completed in conjunction with Maddocks Marine, dredging the outlet channel and sluicing works are continuing. Machine cleaning has been completed in K Canal on the northwestern side, from State Highway 12 bridge to the floodgate number 66. Slip and running track repair work was required along the entire length of the bank. Ongoing issues with slips after king tides and recent weather events have resulted in suspension of works due to slips. Slips have been marked and are currently monitored. Machine cleaning has been completed in drain 55, 2,160 metres from Floodgate Road to the Double Creek Gatehouse boundary. Road truck access was improved during this time. Machine cleaning has been completed on drain 45, Wilson Landing Road, and part of Simpson Road opposite the Domain Road. This year's spraying contract, contract 524, $125,054.79 has been completed. Drain spraying for the value of approximately $8,528 was not completed in the contract price due to recent weather events resulting in access issues and high water levels within the drains. Ordered spray works have been completed in Wallace Road, Pampas and Phoenix, palm removal, G Canal, Floodgate site, Pampas, and the stop bank from Simpson Road to Westlake Road, Pampas and Wattle. Planned activities not completed in the last quarter were repairs to an internal stop bank drain 53 not completed due to contractor availability. Activities planned in the next quarter, July through to September 25. Ongoing monitoring and temperature control on floodgates. Machine cleaning of drain number 45, Simpson Road from Domain Road through to drain 39. Machine clean and tree removal on drain number 2, Raupo Wharf Road, and monitor the slips in K Canal. Stop bank and debris removal, stop bank and log removal along Simpson Road to Ruai Boat Ramp, and repairs to the internal stop bank and drain 50.
Thanks, Wayne. I'll just raise a couple of points. If the weather event, the update, that matrix there, I think it's attachment A. At the last meeting, we requested.
The bigger version on the.
Yeah. It's that one.
Yeah.
I can't read it. So at the last meeting, the committee requested of some direction from staff, KDC staff, what was happening with items, well, line 3, item 20 and 23. So there is an update to that report there, and that the direction so far is that the Drainage Committee will need to determine the design levels regarding Whitcomb Road and access roads. And then once we determine where that design level should be to bring it back to its original standard for this, the flood protection role those roads serve, then the roading team can assess the impacts of what those levels need to be and potentially program some works. So at that stage, I'd actually just request through Nick, if you could instruct staff to work with the committee to ascertain those design heights.
Yep. What amount of height do you think there's going to be needed to be?
I think we'll get some surveying done. We'll determine what's been working. We can go after some historical stuff and remediate roads that have been remediated. We know meet the standard, and we'll be able to base our calculations off that.
Chair, two things. First, it'd be good to have a date alongside that. And secondly, it probably needs to be in our risk report, doesn't it?
Yes, potentially. Yeah, it's probably a good point, Greg. Can we perhaps have that included in the risk matrix updated for following group following the meeting? Thanks, Greg.
And if someone could come back with a date, I mean, make sure something happens.
Yeah.
Gabriel was quite a while ago.
Yeah, noted. Also, we'll note that the recommendation at the previous meeting to remove the references to the Te Kowhai Valley, as Te Kowhai Valley does sit outside the Raupo Drainage District, so that that reference has also been removed. I would also like to pass positive comment on the sluicing activities in Galvin Road. Drain 40, well, which drain was that? Anyway, I'd like to actually offer personal and on behalf of the ratepayer group, our thanks to Ross, Max McKinley Mrs. McKinley, Max McKinley and Joseph Dragicevic, who have continued over the last month, done some sterling work sluicing that channel, and that drain is actually starting to function quite well now. So I'd just like to actually publicly acknowledge their efforts on our behalf. Are there any other queries to Wayne from that operations report?
Just one, Chair. In hindsight, did we push the button on drain spraying at the right time?
We were late.
Yeah, it was. It's becoming increasingly challenging with. We were waiting for some initial rain for the autumn spray around to get some germination within the drain. Unfortunately, when the first lot of rain came and created the germination, that also signalled the start of the rain that just kept coming.
This lot of rain, April, May, was the most rain we've had in those 2 months since 1975.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah. So I think
we were doomed, no matter what we did.
Yeah. So I think in answer to your question, yeah, the timing was right, and we have completed the bulk of it. What the items that haven't been completed, we'll be monitoring, but we've got no outstanding concerns. Would that be your opinion, Wayne?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think we're not overly alarmed by the fact that there was a small section not completed. We're aware of where those areas are. We'll monitor them accordingly.
Yep. Cool. Thank you.
Any further queries from the floor? I'd like to move that we note the operations report for June 2025. Have a seconder, please. Councillor Vincent. All those in favour? Aye. Against? Carry. Thank you. Item 4.2, financial report. Jessie, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. This is a financial report showing your actual spend in the Raupo district for the 11 months to the end of May 2025. So the main points, obviously your operating costs are quite under budget. We have 315,000 as at the 31st of May to spend. However, any underspend will accumulate in your fund for the district. You do have 2 big capital projects happening at the moment. Murphy Bowers has a spend of 435,000 to date, and 430 of that, overspend of 435, and 430 of that has been funded through the general ratepayer in the annual plan 2026. And capital project for Canal G also was predicting a large overspend of 730. As of the 31st of May, the amount spent is 328,000, and that overspend amount of 730 has been funded through the general ratepayer, through the annual plan, and some other project offsets. So happy to take any questions.
Any questions on the financials for Jessie? I would just like to note regarding the comment around the operational spend, the Raupo Operations Working Group are aware. We've had obviously some contractor availability issues, which has impacted our delivery on some of the items. All necessary maintenance has been completed, And one of the major impacts there was our inability to be able to continue the stop bank remediation program due to contract availability and lack of suitable fill due to the logistics of the Bowergate project. So we're planning forward for the next season. I think we're probably in a better position to be able to catch up on some of that work. I'd just like to just make a note of the couple of the overspends within the CapEx line. So it's indicated that the district will pick up the additional overspend on Bowergate of $4,998. So is that, are we seeking approval from the committee for this at this particular meeting, or will this be signalled in a paper in the upcoming meeting?
Not sure, basically. It's been spent and we haven't been asked to fund the additional shortfall. So if the committee is interested in having that funded some other way, they'll need to seek that from council.
Okay. Any comments on that from the group?
That's the one that comes from the school down to that.
That's the Bowergate project, yes.
That was taken out of our hands, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. So
It was also renamed.
Yeah. So the funding was originally capped. The overspend was met through a combination of external funding and general rate funding, and the district's contribution was capped at $590. There's a funding shortfall of just circa $5,000, which has been taken from, it's been funded by the district.
4,988 has been funded by the district, but the committee can direct me to seek a different option and see what we could do, if that's what you would like.
Okay.
But it would require going back to council.
Okay, thanks, Jessie. Thoughts from the committee?
Why would we want to do that?
It will reduce your accumulated fund balance by the 4,988, so it will come out of your district funds.
So the question is, are we comfortable to fund the slight overspend out over and above the basically circa 5K above the original 590 that was allocated to the drainage committee for this project?
Sorry,
misunderstood. To close it out. And that should be the final closeout for that project. That is at practical completion.
I believe so.
Yeah, sorry, Chair, I misunderstood. Yeah, the 5K, I think we've just got to be a bit pragmatic and move on, don't we?
Yeah.
I'd be happy with that.
Okay, that's good. So in that, do you need to actually that move by resolution? Or are we just comfortable that that's what's taken place and we'll move on?
I think it could be tidy to move a resolution on that.
I'll move to that effect that the Raupo Drainage Committee funds the slight operational overspend, the CapEx overspend of $4,988.
Seconded.
Seconded, Greg.
What was the amount? 4,000?
4,988.
So that's part B, and the first part is A, which is to note the report itself. You happy with that?
Yep, just as one, I've got another query to come forward. I just thought I'll just now. And similarly, just for the final line with the notes around the Raupo G Canal floodgate. I don't know if everybody's read those final notes at the base of page 17. Final sentence, Raupo Drainage District have therefore funded none of this project unless the total overspend ends up being higher than the 730,000 predicted. So my only concerns there is about the uncertainty indicated within the sentence. So that's the same situation would apply should this overspend be above and there is a shortfall.
In my mind, that's correct, because when the council was asked to fund these overspends, they were asked to fund a specific amount. They were not asked to fund the entire amount. And so there is a risk. That's why I did not make it final. Yes, so my understanding is actually that it's going to be higher than 730. At the moment, as at the end of May, we've only spent 327,000 of the 730, but that project is reaching its final completion, and the project managers are indicating that there may be 20, 30, or maybe $40,000 more to pay.
Okay.
We've got a resolution, haven't we, that we haven't got that liability? I couldn't see why we'd change from that.
Yeah, so that's that. I guess so. That's also my opinion too, Greg. So I guess we address the issue of the overspend above the indicated 730,000.
Yes.
Once it's become apparent what the actual overspend amount is.
So potentially the action from that would be to go to council and show the resolution where that was not.
Yeah. Okay.
The targeted ratepayer and the estimate was wrong, but it could be, we don't know because we haven't finished.
Okay.
For all.
My assumptions from that is this is being indicated as a bit of transparency to the committee, and we would expect once the final project closeout and the overspend is noted, a paper will come to the committee regarding that.
Do you want to make a resolution now about it so that if that eventuates, I can immediately go to council?
I think that
this might take a while with the committee meetings.
I think it would be prudent just to come to the committee in the first instance. The overspend amount is undetermined.
Yes.
We do have a resolution that limits the spending to the committee or to the targeted ratepayer group. However, we could probably need to be mindful that the committee composition may change.
Yes.
And it should be a discussion for the new committee upon the.
Oh, sorry. That's the question when you're finished.
Sorry.
Yes.
Mark, would you like? Yes. Sorry, I didn't see your hand up. Sorry, Mark.
That's right. No, I just put it up. Look, I do think in doing our job, I need to contribute a different point of view as well, which is looking at the total value of the project and what it's going to deliver. It's a pretty bloody good deal. And if there is a bit of an overspend, and wait and see how much that is, it may be that in terms of the savings that should accrue as a result of having this in the operations of the Raupo Drainage District, it might be seen as a reasonable deal to soak up that overspend if it's capable to be met from reserves. I'm just suggesting another way of looking at it.
Yeah. I'm comfortable with addressing the query once we have all the information.
Yep. Well, just a couple of points. I don't think we've got reserves because we've got one more of these things to do. So we have got a fund for capital projects. So I'm not aware we've got reserves.
Okay.
And secondly, I would struggle to understand why it would be we have got to act in the interests of our ratepayers. Accountability for this should rest with those who did the job, and we're excluded from that. So I guess there's a couple of principles there, Mark, that
Right.
I'd take a lot of convincing of a different course.
Yep. Thanks for that.
Okay. So we'll defer the full discussion on this until we actually know there is an overspend. We've got more accurate information. Okay. Is there any further comment on the financials from the floor? Nothing further to add?
No, I have some, but I can't word it. I'm struggling to put my words together to keep it right, so we'll just let it slide.
So we do have a resolution. Alana, could you repeat that?
Yeah,
first, please?
so the part A is notes to the Raupo Drainage Financial Report, May 2025, and I just wanted to get the second part, part B. It's you just noting that the funding of the CapEx overspend of 4988.
I'd say that the overspend of 4988,
Hang on, sorry, the chair, is that part of the terms of reference that you can approve this? I'm not sure if that is correct.
We could,
I would
say no,
note-
the committee understands the 4988.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we know
Um,
that.
Note
and,
that.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
accept that.
sorry, I don't think we usually use approve or agree unless there's a full report that comes to council. And this is an information report.
Yes, we'll note the additional 4,988.
Okay. Roy Stop back green statement, Murphy Bowers. So are you happy with that name? Is that name correct?
Greg, would you like comment on that?
No, I've worn that topic out.
So that's what I've got for the Railway Stop Bank reinstatement, Murphy Bowers. So does it lie with, or sits with the Raupo Drainage District ratepayer? Is that what we're saying? Yeah.
First seconder for that, please. Don't have a seconder as yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
Councillor Vincent,
Okay.
all those in favour? Aye,
Read the resolution again, please.
sorry.
So the first part is part A, notes the Raupo Drainage Financial Report, May 2025. B, notes the additional funding of 4988 for the Ruai Stop Bank reinstatement, in brackets Murphy Bowers, sits with the Raupo Drainage District ratepayer. Okay. Correct?
Basically, we're extending the cap, which was 590,000 was the district's contribution to that project. And we are moving to extend that cap from 590 to 594,988.
Yeah, okay, fine. Thank you.
Just a question of materiality, I guess.
Yes,
So
please.
have it moved and seconded. I'll call again. So all those in favour? Aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Thank you, team. Is there any further questions for Jessie? Sorry, Jess, we'll just make the call. Real good, thank you. Thanks, Jess. Sorry. That concludes all of the agenda items for this meeting. I would just like to acknowledge all members of the committee. This is the final governance meeting of this group until we have our elections conducted. It's been an honour to serve with you all and serve this district as chair. I thank each and every one of you for your contributions over not only this last term, but the previous terms that this group's been together. We will obviously, the democratic process will play out, and we will see where we land post the elections as to the composition of the group. But I just see, look, I'd like to thank everybody that's contributed. I think we've served the district well, and on behalf of myself and also the ratepayer group, thank everybody for their work. I'd also like to actually use this to open the floor if there would like to be any closing comments from any of the committee members, considering this may be the last time we meet in this composition. There's none? Thank you. There's no further business. I'll ask, Alana, I'll ask you to close us out with a closing karakia, please.
Kia tau nā kitanga e te me naru, ki runga, ki tena o tato, kia mahia te hua mā kihihi, kia toi te kupu, toi te aroha, toi te reo Māori, tihei Māori ora.
Māori ora. Thank you. Thank you, team.
Yeah.